As soon as I entered the apartment, I could feel the tension in the air. My husband, Jack, was sitting on the couch with his arms crossed, looking at his phone. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. "Is everything okay?" I asked. Jack didn't respond. He just handed me his phone, and I saw a text message from a woman named Brianna. It was explicit and detailed, and it was clear that they were having an affair. My heart sank as I read the messages. I couldn't believe that Jack would cheat on me. We had been together for 5 years and had just celebrated our second wedding anniversary. I thought we were happy, but apparently, I was wrong. I confronted Jack about the text messages, and he didn't deny it. He said that he had made a mistake and that he was sorry. He told me that he had met Brianna at a bar, and that it had been a one-time thing. But I didn't believe him. The messages were too explicit, too intimate. I knew that this had been going on for a while. For the next few days, I was in a daze. I couldn't eat or sleep. I kept thinking about Jack and Brianna together, and it made me sick to my stomach. I didn't know what to do. I had never been in this situation before. I decided to talk to my best friend, Rachel. She had been through a similar experience a few years ago, and I knew that she would understand. Rachel listened patiently as I told her everything that had happened. She didn't judge me or try to tell me what to do. She just listened and offered her support. After talking to Rachel, I knew what I had to do. I couldn't stay with Jack. I couldn't forgive him for what he had done. It wasn't just the affair that bothered me. It was the fact that he had lied to me, that he had betrayed my trust. I couldn't be with someone who didn't respect me. I confronted Jack again and told him that I wanted a divorce. He was shocked and upset, but he didn't argue. He knew that he had messed up, and he didn't want to make things worse. The next few months were difficult. Jack moved out of our apartment, and I started the process of getting a divorce. It was painful and emotional, but I knew that it was the right thing to do. I started seeing a therapist, and it helped me a lot. I learned how to cope with the pain and the anger, and I started to focus on myself. I started working out and eating healthy, and I started to feel better about myself. One day, a few months after the divorce was finalized, I ran into Jack at a coffee shop. He looked different. Somehow, he had lost weight and looked tired. I could tell that he was going through a difficult time. We talked for a few minutes, and he apologized again for what he had done. He told me that he had realized how much he had hurt me, and that he wished he could take it back. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to forgive him, but another part of me knew that it was too late. The damage had been done, and I couldn't trust him again. As I walked away from the coffee shop, I realized that I had finally moved on. I had let go of the pain and the anger, and I was ready to start a new chapter in my life. It wasn't easy, but I had learned a valuable lesson. I had learned that sometimes, the unwanted truth can be the catalyst for change. It started with a hunch. A nagging feeling that something wasn't quite right. My ex-boyfriend, Jack, had been distant lately. He had stopped being affectionate and would come home later than usual. He would also spend more time on his phone, and whenever I asked who he was texting, he would brush it off and say it was just work stuff. But I knew something was off. One day, I decided to check his phone while he was in the shower. I know it was wrong, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he was hiding something from me. As I scrolled through his messages, my heart sank. There were messages from a girl named Sarah, and they were flirtatious. I couldn't believe it. Jack was cheating on me. I confronted him, and at first, he denied everything. He said Sarah was just a friend and that I was overreacting. But I knew better. I could feel it in my gut. Eventually, he broke down and confessed that he had met Sarah on Tinder and had been seeing her behind my back for a few weeks. The pain I felt was indescribable. I had given Jack my trust, my love, my everything, and he had thrown it all away for a girl he had met on a dating app. I was devastated. We tried to work things out, but it was never the same. I couldn't trust him again, and the hurt he had caused was too much to forgive. We eventually broke up, and Jack started dating Sarah. It felt like a knife twisting in my heart every time I saw them together on social media. It took me a long time to heal from the betrayal. I questioned myself, wondering if I was not enough for Jack, if there was something wrong with me. But I eventually realized that it was not my fault. Jack had made a choice, and that choice was to cheat on me. Cheating is never okay. It is a betrayal of trust and a violation of the commitment you make to your partner. It hurts not only the person being cheated on but also the cheater themselves. Trust is something that takes time to build, but can be lost in an instant. I learned a valuable lesson from this experience. Trust your gut. If something feels off in your relationship, don't ignore it. And if you are ever tempted to cheat, think about the consequences of your actions. It may feel exciting and new in the moment, but the aftermath is never worth it. In the end, I am grateful for the experience, as painful as it was. It taught me to value myself, my worth, and my trust. I know now that I deserve someone who will love me, respect me, and be faithful to me. And I won't settle for anything less.